Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I'm Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages with the cards that come out in this reading for you today. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through with the cards that come out in this reading today. So the first card we have is the King of Cups and we have the Strength card. So we have some water sign energy with this King of Cups. You could be dealing with another Cancer or a Pisces or even a Scorpio. But we also have some Leo energy with the Strength card. And you could also be dealing with a Leo. And we have the Six of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Death card in the reverse. So we also have some Scorpio energy with this card as well. So the Death card showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of someone who's kind of in a space where they're having a hard time letting go, or is in a space where it's like they don't want to have to change. I do feel like with this Death card in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of kind of, when it comes to this connection, this does feel like a sense of almost being in a place of depending on it. This does feel like of having had come to a space of really relying on this connection in a much deeper way than perhaps even thought. But this does feel like an energy of really thinking of this connection in light that does feel like somebody is kind of wanting to hold on and not have to let go. I do feel like with this Death card showing up over here, this could actually be a very strong connection that you have with this person. I do feel like this person is all in. But I do feel like with this Death card showing up over here, this also feels like an energy of somebody who's kind of holding on, where it does feel like they could loosen their grip. With the King of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like a very loving energy. I do feel like this person is quite devoted to you and devoted to this connection. With the King of Cups showing up over here, I do feel like there's a lot of love here. I do feel like it's very genuine and sincere. But this King of Cups showing up over here, this does also feel like an energy of this person being somebody who's in a space where when it comes to just how much they feel, they may kind of let you in on that in subtle ways. I do feel like with this King of Cups, there's a sense of wanting to kind of keep everything at bay and kind of keep emotions in check. I do feel like with the King of Cups showing up over here though, this does feel like kind of it's like this person is emotionally mature, is what I'm getting when it comes to this King of Cups showing up over here. I do feel like they have a lot of strong feelings for you, and I do also feel like with the King of Cups, this does feel like a very devoted energy and them being quite devoted to you and this connection. I do feel like with the Strength card showing up over here, this does feel like a very caring energy as well. This feels like a very strong connection that is present. I do feel like with the Strength card showing up over here, you may feel quite cared for by this person. This person may feel very cared for by you, but you have actually made an imprint on this person. I do feel like there is a very big impact that you have left on this person, that this person is actually, you do feel like it makes them kind of be even more, want to gravitate even more towards this connection with you, and even makes them more certain. I do feel like with the Strength card showing up over here, this feels like a very caring and even empathetic energy in a connection with somebody. So I do feel like when it comes to this connection and even the feelings it's kind of evoking, or that you're evoking in this person, you do feel like you're a caring person and that you're very compassionate. And I do feel like it's something that this person actually really appreciates about this connection. I do feel like with the Six of Swords showing up over here though, this does feel like having had been through something that may feel like it was difficult, or it's a period that does feel like it was not so difficult. This feels like an energy of being able to get to a place where that is something that you are leaving behind you. I do feel like there's an energy of being able to experience that difficult energy kind of letting up. With the Six of Swords showing up over here, this feels like actually kind of experiencing things getting better and the worst kind of being behind you. I do feel like with the Six of Swords showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being able to make a lot of progress in anything you're working on, especially when it comes to a connection with somebody. Moving towards a place where things feel more so harmonious and the waters feel more calm. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the Star, We do have some Aquarius energy with the star. You could be dealing with an Aquarius as well. We have the Fool. And we have the Ace of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of the potential for growth and expansion in this connection. I do feel like there's also a sense of being able to experience things kind of becoming more so real in this connection, in the sense that this connection is expanding, and I do feel like in a positive way. With the Three of Wands, this does feel like an energy of kind of having had waited on someone or someone waiting on you. And with the Three of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of kind of being able to experience the end of a waiting period. I do feel like with the Three of Wands, this could also be distance in this connection, or even a long distance connection that's happening here. So I do feel like there's a sense of somebody kind of being in a space where it's like they are in a position of waiting. But I do feel like when it comes to that distance, this could even be a sense of emotional distance. And with the Three of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being open to exploring this connection in a way that kind of bridges that gap. I do feel like with the Star card, this feels like a very hopeful energy, especially regarding the future. I do feel like with the Star card, this does also feel like a very positive outlook that this person has on this connection. And even when it comes to where things are headed, and even when it comes to being in a space where I do think they think of you in really high regards. With the Star card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of someone who kind of thinks very highly of you. I do feel like with the Star card showing up over here, it feels like this person is somebody who has a lot of faith, especially in this connection. And I do feel like when it comes to, especially if there is distance with that Three of Wands, this person really misses you. I do feel like you stay on their mind. I do feel like with the Fool card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being ready to be able to kind of experience this connection in as far as being able to take a next step into being able to enter into a new phase that does feel more serious, or does feel more exclusive, or does feel even more so connected. I do feel like with the Fool card, this feels like taking a leap of faith, or even considering being able to take a leap of faith because of the feeling this connection brings to you. And I do feel like those feelings being reciprocated with the King of Cups. I do feel like with this Death card in the reverse, there is a strong sense of not wanting to lose this connection and not wanting to give up on this connection in spite of anything or any circumstances surrounding it. I do feel like with this Ace of Cups, this does feel like an energy of kind of experiencing this connection in a way that, especially emotionally, this does feel like an energy of being able to be more so vulnerable in a way that allows for this connection to kind of enter into a new chapter when it comes to your emotional connection. And I do feel like with the Ace of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like emotionally being quite connected on a deep level. So feel like there's a spiritual element when it comes to your connection and makes it even that much more deeper. I do feel like with the Six of Swords showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being able to get to this place after being able to get through what may have felt like a hurdle or even a difficult period with that Six of Swords. That I do feel like with not giving up or letting go, with this Death card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being able to get to this place in this connection. So I do feel like there's a potential of this connection being kind of renewed in a very positive way. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have Make the Effort. We have Worth Waiting For. And we have Romantic Feelings. So with the Make the Effort card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of this connection, maybe one that does require the effort when it comes to being able to ensure that things are able to work out in a way that you plan or hope for. And I do feel like when it comes to this connection, this person, I do feel like, is somebody who's going to meet you a lot halfway when it comes to being able to make the effort for this connection. I definitely feel like there's an invested energy when it comes to the way in which they're approaching this connection with you. This does feel like an energy of also kind of being in a space where this person feels guided to be able to actually make some kind of effort or take some kind of step towards being able to ensure that the efforts in this connection are being made. So that could even mean travel with the Three of Wands. I do also feel like when it comes to being able to kind of be able to work through an emotional distance, with the Six of Swords, sorry, showing up over here, so that's feel like an energy of being able to work through what feels like emotional distance as well. Being able to get to the other side, which does feel more harmonious in this connection. But I do feel like there's effort being put into this connection on both sides. I do feel like with the worth waiting for card showing up over here is pertaining to this Three of Wands. This does feel like an energy of kind of being in a space where at some point in this connection there could have been a time of kind of waiting on someone, or even waiting for the ability to be able to kind of do something in this connection as far as being able to progress it. I do feel like with the worth waiting for card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of not being disappointed when it comes to having had waited on somebody in this connection. I do feel like divine timing is at play, especially with the Fool card showing up over here. So it's like an energy of being ready to kind of take a leap of faith, especially at this time. I do feel like with the romantic feelings card showing up over here, it's pertaining to the Ace of Cups. This does feel like a strong bond and even a very magnetic attraction in this connection. I do feel like with the romantic feelings card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being ready to be able to really explore that connection and those feelings further in this connection. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.